emotions or sides that again, exist when you have not balanced yourself, and at that time, it is all about, which side is going to take over which one, right? It's about that. And but when we think about the greater good is always consolidated. The greater good is always about collaboration. It's always about love. It's always about coming together as a team, and really, like thinking beyond the normal processes or the normal reams of existence, and saying that this is going to be an exciting thing because we'll be flexible and doing something different this time. And let's see that how we go. Because um, when you do something different and you collaborate beyond the normal levels, then maybe you might bring a product which is beyond the normal level as well. You bring a result which is beyond normal levels as well, and that might be able to really, really, truly hold up and a very high level of benefits or transformation for the world. So this is how we think in terms of like conflict prevention, its resolution, its management, and the reconciliation. Um, when it comes to working together for greater good, we say that we are not going to show entitlement over here. We say that we're not going to show selfishness over here. We say that we're not going to show sort of like this attitude of that I am more important than you, or I'm more important in this situation. And we say that um what is importance anyways. Yeah, what is importance anyways? Importance is being your best self. And what is being your best self? What is being truly you? Being truly you, or being your truly yourself, or your best self, is really and looking at the high situation, and feeling love in your heart, feeling love within you, and working for love. That is the best self, coming from a place when you could feel love within you right here in your heart. And and you come from that place of love, and you look at the higher situation, and you say that well, I'll just be my best self, and because that just makes me feel like even better than when I say that I'm important. Um when I feel love, it makes me feel even more important, than just empty I am important. There is an empty I'm important, and then there is a fulfilled I'm important. And the fulfilled I'm important is when you think of the highest good, and when you do good out of selfless desires to create change in the world. And that's how you really become that force, that higher force, that works for everyone, that thinks about everyone, that is the that is what we all are seeking, right? We all are seeking something like that, where that state of completion, that state of being in our higher self, and that state is love, and is for love. And that is a state of existence, that when you have something, or you don't have something, but you do have love, and that then is all that matters, that you have love and you can feel love, and so you let go of your like really, you let go of those parts of yourself that really clash with oneness or with love or with that which is good for all, and I think that's one of, or that is the greatest achievement, if a person um can do that in their life, or a team can do that in their life, in their organization, in their work, and coming together. So when this kind of thinking is promoted, when this kind of thinking is you know is sort of like the seed of this thinking is put in and is promoted and it's nurtured again and again, then if this is how we think within ourselves, and how we think in our organizations, how we think sort of like in as countries in the world, then conflict will be prevented. It will be prevented even from the start, because if you think about both of the situations beforehand, your imagination is enough to tell you what's going to happen. There are two ways. You could go one way where you say that I'll come from love. How can I come from a place of love? And you can come from that place of love and you can see the outcome, that how everything will come together and you work together and you produce like even beyond what the separate teams could have done, right? Because the sum of the parts is always greater than the parts themselves. So if two separate parts come together and they work for greater good, the result is always much higher than what they could have achieved separately. Yeah. And you see that if you go this way, this is going to be the outcome, and everything is going to be, for greater good, and it is going to be a very, very pleasant and different and a greater outcome. But your imagination is just enough. If you think the other side, what is going to happen if you're going to continue to be restrictive in yourself and in your thinking, and you want to go that way and you want to go down that road, what's going to happen? First thing is the love that you have and the goodness that is coming out of it, and the new change, the new transformation that's coming out of it, you're going to first of all suffocate that. You're going to, if you have this company and the company had like this mission, this vision, which was very positive, it was all about creating that new transformation, was all about creating that new thing, in the world that has never been there before. And all of a sudden, just because of restrictive thinking or behaviors, you have suffocated that. And then what are the teams are going to do? They're going to fight with each other, and they're going to half destroy each other. And then who's won in the end? None of them. It's a terrible failure to really be part of the same organization, be the two teams of the same organization, and being equally powerful, or maybe having, and especially, yeah, that's true, that every single side has its own speciality, it has its own specialness in it, and that this team is very good at this and the other team is very good at that, and that's how it is in nature, right? And so having your own specialities and like all of that, and then using those things against the higher cause, against each other, and against love, and just suffocating everything and maybe achieving what a small small, terrible self-focused outcome that will only exist as something that should not have been done in the first place and would not be anything exciting or adventurous or anything that could lead to something more beautiful. It's just a disaster. So thinking, coming from that place, that that where are you going to stand as a force, and are you going to stand you know with that beautiful newness, imagine, where, everything's collaborating and working for the greater good, or you're gonna stand against it and just suffocate it. And but at the end of the day, it is to understand that you an ocean, a drop in the ocean is the ocean itself. So when you're a team in an organization, you're the organization itself, right? So when you are hurting or you are going against each other, it's you're not going against the other, you're going against your own self, and you're just hurting your own self, because it's just not going to work. There has to be consolidation, there has to be integration, and that is for the greater good. And you have to, there is, when you look at that, there's the organization is like, your child, your product, it's your love, and you're just building it up from both sides, and you just allowing it to be the force that's gonna produce positive outcomes and keep everything together. That is something that you invest in and you take care of, and you make sure that it's okay and it's running smoothly, and then no issues, and you don't sort of like hurt it. You just try to build it up and together as two teams, and that's your point of collaboration, because an organization gives the space and a place for those forces to collaborate, and that's your point of collaboration. And from that collaboration, through that organization, then what do? You create the positive change, you create the difference in the world that you wanted to create. And both teams get to share the story, that how they made the difference, not only how they made the difference, but how they collaborated on a very higher level and higher scale to make something happen. And that's the way how things work when they are working really to the most beautiful, most symmetrical, most positive way, most satisfying way, most the way which is even beyond expectations, right? It is something so good that is even beyond expectations. If you look at nature, how trees, a seed goes in, the tree grows, right? And the rainwater comes, or water comes, and it's just like nourishes it, and the sunlight nourishes it, and and everything's working together for greater good, right? And then it produces the fruit, and then the fruit helps everyone, and it's just like you just take care of that. You then don't come with an axe and try to take down that tree. You just nourish it, and the fruit comes naturally and for everyone, and you just take care of basically, as a human, what are the responsibilities when you have something positive growing, which could grow and grow and produce the fruit, for the lifetime, and you just find a way to keep it there, and so that everyone will get a chance, and it's all about sharing and caring and being together, in a situation, and no one is hurting anyone. So that's how conflict prevention happens when we understand the perspective, when we stop